Good afternoon, everyone. This is the professional development guy. Today, we're going to talk about four key components that I feel is very important when you either starting a company or for an existing company. Four things that is very key, and some of the first four things that actually, when you're going to business or in business, that you really need to think about, not only at the beginning, but also you need to think about it during the middle part of your business. Think about it 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road. This is something that you should always be thinking about because your business is always changing. Things are always changing within business. Number one, people. We all know everything starts with the people. Start with what type of people do you have working for you? You might want to go back to the beginning when you actually hired the people. Where did you actually get the people from? Meaning, did you post an ad in one of the online sites? Did you put out an application somewhere in the paper or something? Was it word of mouth? How did you acquire the staff that you actually have right now? What if someone that you already know? That's where everything starts at. How am I going to get people? If I'm in a position to hire people within my company, where am I going to get people? Where am I going to get the type of people that I want for my company? Because no matter what we say, we all want certain type of people in our company. We have certain type of people. We have an idea of the type of person that we think or we know will fit our company. So what do we do? How do we go about acquiring these people? These are things that we need to think about. What type of people do we want? What type of background should they have? How diverse should the backgrounds be? When I'm talking diversity, I'm not talking about age. I'm not talking about sex. I'm not talking about race. But I am talking about experience and different types of work background, different type of knowledge, different levels of knowledge that you have. What were you looking for? What was your requirements? What did you put in the qualifications when you were looking for that person? What type of job description did you put down to make sure that you acquired the right person, someone that actually had experience in that or have some capabilities to do the job that you wanted them to do, the job that you were hoping that that right person applied for. Make sure we have the right person. So that's number one. Number two is placement. I did a great job of bringing these people in. I hired these people. Now, where am I going to put them? Where am I going to put them? When you are in a leadership role, whether it's a owner of a company, leader of a company, manager of a company, you want to make sure that you can maximize the talents of your people best way possible. Best way possible. So you want to make sure that you're placing your people in the right position. Don't just put someone in the front line dealing with customers if you know that is not that person's thing. That person would better suit the company working in the back office because and doing some type of accounting work because they actually have an accounting background. You want to put people where they actually maximize their talents and their skills, where they feel comfortable. And you want to put people in a place where it's going to work out better for the company. Ultimately, you want to put people where their strengths are, so it can ultimately work out better for the company. So that's the way you build your team. So now you're building your team and putting them in places where they're comfortable and where they can be most effective to make sure that we have a successful organization and build a culture that I want or you want with inside of your company. So placement is very, very important. It's very it's very beneficial to have people that come from different backgrounds, different experience levels, different work backgrounds. Everyone in your organization do not have to have the same background. Like if you have an IT business, there's nothing wrong with hiring someone that has an accounting background or a sales background or a marketing background. You get where I'm coming from? Because now you hire these people and you say, I have an IT business. Why would I hire someone that has an accounting background? Well, because you can't do everything. And to have that person that's an accountant on your team is beneficial to your company. Well, why would I have a salesperson? Well, we all know that there's no companies that are going to survive without sales, either selling a service or a product. So now you have a salesperson on the team. Well, why would I hire a marketing person? We're doing IT. Well, you have to let people know, or be able to let people know, or figure out different creative ways to let people know about your product. Those are 3 different people that you hired within your company, and you put them in a position where they actually have skill set, where they actually have their talent to maximize that person. Steve Jobs said, I don't hire smart people so I can tell them what to do. I hire smart people so they can tell me what to do. Number 3, your policies. I call these your can-dos, your policies. When we start our company, or if we have already been in business for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, whatever we have you, how often do you look at your policies? Because times change, people change. This is the world of the internet, and you have so much competition in it now, and people buy differently. People are being serviced differently. So sometimes you have to revamp your policy. Or if you're starting a company, you can also look, before you start putting your policy into place, look at the industry. Look at the industry that you're going into. As a matter of fact, you might even want to look into the community, the target market that a lot of people don't talk about nowadays, the target market that you're going to be around, and the target type of people that you will be targeting. What do they look for when they purchase a product? So, of course, it requires some research to be done. If it's something that you've been doing for 5 or 10 years, or even 15 or 20 years, your company has been successful, you still want to look at it and make sure that you're in line, in sync with other industry competition, people that's in your industry. 10 years ago, when you first started your company, with inside of that community, you were the only one in your industry there. But now there's 2 or 3 other businesses that's in their industry. You need to find out what they're doing. Are you losing business? Or is your business just staying stagnated and not growing at all? Either one is not good, because we always want to grow. So we might want to find out, hey, what is it that I can change, or we can change inside of our policy to make us grow? And the next is going to be the procedures, which I call your how-tos. We have our policy in line. Now, how are we going to service the people? What do we need to do? What is going to be our standard operating procedure, our SOP? What is our standard operating procedures? And more importantly, the people that we hire, do they know? Do they know the standard operating procedures? So we can better service everyone, to make sure that the procedures is consistent. You don't want to have one staff member that does it one way and one other staff member does it the other way. It should all be shared knowledge. It should be something that you talk about often. It should be something that's shared often. We don't go into meetings as managers, leaders, and owners of a company and come back and do not share the information with our staff. Everyone should know, so we can be on the right page, or the same page. Make sure that you're on the same page at all times. So those are my 4 P's. You have people, placement, policies, and procedures. Folks, thanks for joining in. I hope you got some information that you can learn today. I am the professional development guy. Please tune in for our next show. Enjoy the rest of your day.